So a few weeks ago, we deep cleaned my bathroom, bedroom, and closet, and that felt really good to get that done. But today we are deep cleaning our kitchen and our living room. Even though it is only 2 rooms, there's a lot of deep cleaning that needs to go down in here. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I wanna hear you say that you only want me. I'm in love, don't care who knows about it. Can't get enough, no, I can't do without you. Spending all my time thinking about you. I think I got a rush on you. Yep, I got a rush on you. Say goodbye to my lonely days. I'm so high, I'll do whatever it takes, yeah, to keep you by my side. No, I can't deny. Think I got a rush on you. Yep, I got a rush on you. The glimmer in your eyes gets me every time.
So the first thing on my list was to dust the fan in our living room, and this was definitely such a struggle in the beginning, just kind of trying to figure out what angle I needed to go at, what brush head to use, all the things. But I ended up figuring out what worked for this fan. I actually have not dusted this fan in our new house ever since moving in. So the last one I dusted was back in Utah. If you guys remember, we had the tall ceilings there too, but it was a little bit easier to get to just because the living room was a little bit smaller, and also we had like a different railing, so it was kind of easier to get to. But here in Arizona, we have more ledges with the built-ins and things like that, and like the little coves. So it's definitely been a little bit of a learning curve to try to figure out how exactly I need to tackle these spaces. But once I got it all done, it definitely stirred up a lot of dust, but it felt so much better, and it definitely looked a lot better as well.
The glimmer in your eyes gets me every time. Every time. Shines so bright it leaves me blind. Leaves me blind. I could lose myself inside your mind, but your heart is where I find it. Think I got a rush on you. And every day feels brand new all over again. On you. Crush on you. Yep, I got a rush on you. I feel like I'm in high school all over again. On you. Crush on you. Yep, I got a try to play it smoothly, but I know you see right through me. There ain't no sense in hiding low. I'm crushing on you. Got that secret weapon, melts my heart in just 1 second. I lose all of my senses. Oh, I'm crushing on you. Can't even imagine what kind of love could happen. Oh, we took a chance on us.
So on the very top of our built-ins, I couldn't quite reach this area from the top of the ledge, so I had to do it from the ground. And as you can see, I was kind of struggling with this area as well. It was not perfectly done, but it was definitely better than it was. But the next thing that I wanted to tackle once I got like the high areas dusted was actually cleaning the blinds. And I have gotten a lot of questions from you guys about if we like these blinds. I don't remember what these ones are called. I think they're plantation shutters or something. But anyway, we really do like them. I definitely like the look. They look really nice. And I will say they're actually very easy to clean, as you can see. But the one big downfall to them, or I guess 2 downfalls to them, one is that it kind of blocks a bit of light, so you don't get quite as much light because you can't just pull the shades all the way up. They're always in the windows, unless if you're able to pull them away from the windows and kind of push them off to the side like we do in our dining room. But then you do have to have that wall space on both sides, otherwise it doesn't really work. So there's definitely drawbacks to these, but overall I would say they're a plus, and we do really like them.
No, not the fingertip. I get the whole hand dirty. It's the injuries and elbow grease make a body sturdy. And if you're into that, turn it on like a thermostat. Hot mess, effortless. Throw yourself with the heater's eye. Make you work somehow. Get all over it. Pour it all out. Get all over it now. Mess you're digging in, or you're on the surface. With all you got, do you serve it out till you're out of service? Or you can wait and see, make bets on the lottery, or jump in, teeth and skin, grind it out with your whole damn body. Make you work somehow, eat all over it, pour it all out, get all over it now. Next throw down with a little bit, let it all out, get all over it. Even if it doesn't pan out, I could say I saw the real thing rather than a photograph. I'd rather make a story I could laugh at than write a lackluster paragraph. Side is all in how you see, we look for it, or watch it leave. Side is all in how you see, we look for it, or watch it leave. Make you work somehow, eat all over it, pour it all out.
So one thing that always happens whenever you're dusting is the room will get really dusty. Like you just saw me sneeze right there. I don't think there's a way to avoid that if you're dry dusting like I was doing, but that's why I wanted to dust everything before pulling out our vacuum, because then I was able to dust it all and then let the dust kind of settle, and then I'm able to kind of vacuum that up, and then that way it's just not floating around in the air. But once I took care of dusting everything, I moved on to cleaning the insides of our couch, which I have not really done since getting them. So there was definitely a bit of stuff in there that needed to be cleaned up, but they cleaned up really, really well. So I just went ahead and vacuumed them and then vacuumed the floors as well.
Honey, I've gone all out, and I've been broken in. When it pours on me, I can soak it all in. I'm alive.
So we have had our Roborock robot vacuum for over a year now, and it has been incredible. But I recently got to try out their H7 cordless vacuum, and because we loved their robot vacuum so much, I assumed their cordless vacuum would be amazing, and it absolutely did not disappoint. They have added so many amazing features to their cordless vacuum, and they've also fixed issues that I've seen other cordless vacuums have in the past. So the first thing that I noticed was that the Roborock H7 is super lightweight, which makes it easy to move around the house and also vacuum tricky areas. And the suction is really powerful, so you can get a deeper clean, but they've also included noise dampening and advanced airflow, so it keeps the noise lower without sacrificing cleaning power. Another great feature is their OLED screen. It gives you all the information you need in one spot. It shows the mode, battery life, as well as how much time you have left depending on what mode you're on. And the battery life is super impressive with up to 90 minutes in eco mode. It also has a unique feature where you can activate the lock button, which allows you to not have to hold down the trigger while you're vacuuming, as well as a child lock. And when you're all done vacuuming, the H7 has a reduced charging time of just 2.5 hours, and I really loved their flexible storage system. You just attach the mag base right onto the wall, and whenever you're done vacuuming, you can just click that right into the base, and it starts charging immediately. The base is also magnetic, which makes storing all the accessories that it comes with really easy, since you literally just stick them onto the sides and you're good to go. A few other benefits that I've noticed is that you can go straight from carpet to hard floor without swapping out brushes, and it automatically boosts whenever it detects carpet. They also give you the option of utilizing the large dustbin or using an optional dust bag. Of course, all the filters are washable and reusable, and the HEPA filter on the H7 is super helpful with allergens. So the Roborock H7 is available at Walmart or on Amazon, so all of that linked down below at the top of my description box if you want to check it out. So next on my list was slow vacuuming. You guys have seen me slow vacuum our carpet so many times. You've heard me talk about them so many times, but I love hearing from you guys about how you've tried it and how it makes such a huge difference. So if you are new or if you haven't heard me talk about this, all you're gonna do is just vacuum your floors as usual. Then I typically like to empty out the canister, and then that way I can know kind of what else is getting left in my floors. And then I will come back in and then just vacuum, but very, very slowly. Like it'll probably take me about 5 or 10 minutes to vacuum one single room, but you're just going to literally slow vacuum your carpet, and it really gives your vacuum the time and opportunity to suck everything else up. You'll see a lot of dirt, a lot of dust, any extra hair that was kind of embedded in the carpet, but it just gives it a little bit extra time to work. And it's really gross, but it's also very satisfying to see all the stuff that otherwise would have been left in your carpet.
I would never see it anymore when I'm searching for riches in a pitch black sky. Is it so criminal to wonder why it's too weird? We're never smiling like we were last year. We cranked the stereo and disappear. Now it's so difficult and it ain't clear why I didn't know we were still growing up. We were so young when we fell in love, but we just on the way, not at the destination. I think it's time we take it back to the basics. Back to the basics. Back to the basics. Heart to heart.
So I would love to hear from you guys if you have done any house renovating, especially like a bigger project. I'd love to hear how long it took you, one, to like figure everything out and figure out your plans, but then also I'd love to hear how long it took once you started. I feel like we have been, one, kind of putting things off just because it is a very overwhelming task, but a big part of it is a lot of the things that we haven't done are things that we can't do ourselves. Like we are planning to paint the house, but we need to actually hire painters to paint like the tall ceilings because we just can't do that ourselves. And so I'm really being picky on the color and making sure that I'm really positive on which color we want. Some days I'm so sold that I want like an off-white, and then the next day I've flipped and I really am sure that I want the Benjamin Moore Revere pewter like we had in our Utah home. So I'm really just making sure that we know exactly what we want. And then we also are wanting to change out our countertops and some different things in the kitchen. So rewinding a few months ago, whenever we were moving in, we thought that things would go so much faster. Like we were thinking that our house would be painted within the first few weeks. We were hoping that we could change some things up in our kitchen quite early on. And now we are 5 months later, and neither of those big projects have been done. But hopefully they will be happening soon. I think we kind of know what we're trying to do with our kitchen, so hopefully we'll be sharing that very soon with you guys. But I would love to know your opinion on if you think our home would look better with like a grayish tan color on the walls, or if you think an off-white color would look better. Like I said, I'm so back and forth on both of those options, so I would love your feedback and input on that. But either way, it definitely needs to be brighter, especially in the living room.
Back to the basics. Back to the basics.
Every day is a new beginning, filled with tales untold. Looking out through a tainted window, watching our lives unfold. Some doors happen to be open, while others they stay closed. While we try to plan ahead, nobody truly knows what tomorrow holds. That's how the story goes. I know has gotten you way off track.
So here I'm just starting to unload our dishwasher before tackling all of the dishes. I want to get all of that done so that I can go ahead and seal our granite countertops. I've sealed our countertops several times with you guys, so I know a lot of you guys know kind of the drill of what happens, but since we did it right when we first moved in about 5 months ago, I figured it was about time, especially with all the holidays coming up. I just really wanted to make sure that they were getting taken care of before all of the busyness happens for the holiday season.
I know what you're going through. I'm going through it too. I know life may not always go the way you planned it. Can't stand it. Feel left alone and abandoned. Oh, oh. I know the one who's in control and how he made you. Won't leave you, forsaken or deceive you. Yeah. Life surprises can paralyze us and leave us by the wayside, dying to find a reason to keep on breathing when all hope is gone. Yeah, just keep on believing. I know life may not always go the way you planned it. Can't stand it. Feel left alone and abandoned. Oh, oh. I know the one who's in control and how he made you. Won't leave you, forsaken or deceive you. Yeah.
So I get questions all the time about our dishwasher. First of all, like what brand it is, and then second of all, if we like it. So the brand that we have is the KitchenAid, and we really, really love it. One of the things that I think was my favorite thing about it is actually the top rack, just because I'm able to store so much up there. It really is like a full top rack. When we had our dishwasher in Utah, we did have the top rack as well, but really it was so shallow that you were only able to put like extra utensils, and this way we're actually able to store like cups and just fit so much more that way. So if you are in the market for a dishwasher, I would definitely look for one with 3 racks. It just makes it so much more functional, and it makes it so that you can really pack so much more into your dishwasher.
When you get it right, so hold on tight to me. Love like you never grew up and live like you just get one tonight. We're kings and queens. One blink and it's over. Wake up and we're older tonight. We're kings and queens. Stop, take a breath, close your eyes, remember this. Oh, 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 it's beautiful. Love like we never grew up and live like you just get one tonight. We're kings and queens. One blink and it's over. Wake up.
Next, I'm just cleaning our garbage disposal, like the little area that gets all that food caked on. If you have not cleaned yours, I would suggest you go ahead and clean it. Now, this is actually the first time that we've had a house where the garbage disposal ring doesn't actually detach. And so this is a bit trickier for me. I had to actually kind of go in there and get kind of up under it. It was really not a good experience. It was pretty gross, and I actually had to throw away my sponge when I was done just because the smell was so gross. But it smelled a lot better once it was all clean, and it just looked and felt so much cleaner. So if you have a garbage disposal and you haven't cleaned it in quite a while, take this as your sign to go ahead and clean it today. It will look and smell so much better.
Love like we never grew up and live like you just get one tonight. We're kings and queens. One blink and it's over. Wake up and we're older tonight. We're kings and queens.
Alright, here I'm just starting to go around and kind of wipe down our cabinets. I'm just using my e-cloth with water and just giving it a nice wipe down on everything and making sure that any little spots are taken care of. But like I was talking about earlier, where we want to do a few things to the kitchen, one thing is definitely the countertops, and we actually want to make our island one level. Kind of like our Utah house was. We just really liked that setup. It worked really well for us. But when we first moved in, I had seen the cabinets and like several areas are starting to peel. These are original to the house, so they're about 16 years old or so. Now the insides of the cabinets are actually in really pretty good condition, but the fronts of the cabinets are a lot worse than I was realizing. So I think we're gonna see if we're able to replace those. I don't really know like how cost effective that's going to be, but I would love to know if you guys have ever done that where you just replace like the fronts of the cabinets. I'm sure it's possible, but like I said, we just haven't had to do that. So it's totally new territory for us. Anyway, originally I was thinking we were just going to end up kind of refinishing the fronts and repainting them. But like I said, just after living here for a while, we realized they're not really in the best shape. So we might end up just trying to replace those. So if you have any tips to share on that, I would so appreciate it. All right, here we go on starting to seal the countertops. So the very first thing that you want to do is actually take every single thing off of your counters and make sure that everything is wiped down really well, and that way the sealer is able to work really well on your counters.
Took the road less traveled, and my car broke down. I'm in the middle of a jungle. There's no turning back now. Hey, and this is no place for strangers. I'm not welcome here. These creatures are oh so dangerous. They can smell my fear. There's a voice in the distance crying out, saying leave everything that you know behind.
Next, once you've gone ahead and sprayed everything, you're gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes and just let the sealer start to soak into your countertops. And then once 5 minutes has passed, you're going to start rubbing a cloth in a circular motion, just starting to wipe away all of the excess sealer. Now, I usually like to do this every 5 or 6 months, kind of whenever I see that the counters aren't looking as shiny or when water spots aren't really beating up on them. We've had granite countertops for quite a while, and so this is how I always take care of them, and it really makes a big difference in just helping them last and just making sure that you're really taking care of the stone. And I'm sure that there are several different sealing products, but the one that I use I always get at Walmart, or you can also buy it on Amazon sometimes.
There was a hole in the bottom, yeah. Now it's sink or swim, oh yeah. If this is no place for doubting, that's where hope is drowned. Kicking and screaming and shouting, 'cause we ain't going down. There's a voice in the distance crying out, saying leave everything that you know behind. Yeah. I risk everything for you. Can't stop loving you. Can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop loving you. Can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop loving you. Can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop loving you. Can't stop thinking about you. While we're on this sinking ship, I thought I'd tell you that I ain't never going nowhere. Yeah. I ain't never gonna give up on this love. Will be the last thing that I quit on, I swear. Can't stop loving you. Can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop loving you. Can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop loving. Can't stop loving. Can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop loving. Can't stop loving. Can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop thinking about you. You're always on my mind.
uncertain, but certainly turning around. I'll be here a long time. I'll be in it for as long as you like. And no matter what you and I do, whatever comes next, I'll be right there beside you. 'Cause I'm right where I wanna be. I'll be right there beside you. I know right where I wanna be. I'll be right there beside you. I'll be right, I'll be right, I'll be right, right and right beside you. Oh, you know right where I'm gonna be, right there beside you. Water is rising, the levee is broken, it's flooding commotion this way. And it feels like we're sinking, but things will get better. We'll hang on together, okay?
So the very last thing that I wanted to do was actually vacuum and mop our kitchen. I didn't vacuum the kitchen whenever I was vacuuming the living room earlier, just because I figured I would be making a mess in the kitchen with all the other cleaning I was doing, and so I wanted to save it all for the end. But I'm just using our Roborock vacuum in our kitchen, and then I'm going ahead and just using my mop and bucket that I've shared before. I got that over on Amazon, so it's always linked in my Amazon favorites. But it really is amazing how much of a big impact it makes whenever you vacuum and mop your floors. It just looks so nice and clean. I wish I enjoyed mopping more, because this feeling of having it so clean is so amazing. It's like one of my favorites.
Right and right beside you. Oh, you know right where I'm gonna be, right there beside you. I'm not alone, no, and neither are you. It's a hell of a time to be living through. I'm not afraid, no, and you shouldn't be too. I've got one hand to hold the roof down, and the other's holding on to you. Holding on to you. Oh, you know right where I'm gonna be.
So that is going to be everything for today's video. I'm so happy with how much I was able to get done. There's definitely more things that I need to do, but that's going to be everything for today, and it just feels so good. So if you have some deep cleaning to get done, I would definitely suggest tackling your to-do list soon, especially before the holidays really kick off here in a few weeks. I also want to remind you to check out Roborock. Like I said, I will have that link down below in the description box, so you can go ahead and check out their new H7 vacuum. It is amazing. You guys will absolutely love it. But I hope you guys have the most amazing day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below if you are not already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.
I'll be right there beside you.